Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm a managing principal consultant here at Speridian. And today I'm going to talk to you about how Speridian has helped the state of New York address the COVID-19 crisis. First, a little background. So how did we get here? Speridian has been helping the state of New York for the past 5 months implement a call center transformation project. That is, helping the state of New York get off of their existing legacy SharePoint document repository and get all that knowledge migrated into a brand new Oracle Service Cloud instance. To date, we've migrated over 6,500 articles from SharePoint into Service Cloud, and we have gone live with that knowledge base in Oracle Service Cloud. The state of New York, luckily, uses a Verizon virtual call center platform to enable their agents to be able to take phone calls, and that's all handled by the cloud. Now, why is that so important? Well, in the middle of March 2020, the COVID-19 crisis hit the state of New York, and very rapidly we had to put our project on hold as we were asked to stand up a brand new knowledge base for the Department of Health. Very quickly, within the span of about 48 hours, we were able to import an additional 600 articles, get new staff accounts in place, and prototype and deliver a brand new browser UI interface for agents to be able to access Oracle Service Cloud. Then the inevitable happened. The state of New York began to close offices. So all of a sudden, all of our workers now had to be able to get to Service Cloud from their home or their phone or whatever computer they happen to have at their house. To enable that, we opened up Browser UI and we were able to repoint all of our phones to those agents at home. The net effect was, in a very short span of time, 2 to 3 days, we were able to repoint an entire workforce home and get them into the system using Oracle Service Cloud and Verizon's virtual call center. What happened next was events unfolded unbelievably rapidly. We were asked to automate the onboarding of an additional population of agents. As the state sent everybody home, the state realized we had extra people that could be answering phone calls. So we began to import and create staff accounts for folks like the Department of Motor Vehicles, the Office of the Inspector General, the Department of the Environmental Conservation. All these folks sitting at home could now be enabled to start answering phone calls. The thing is, none of these people were call center agents. They aren't used to call center software. They're not used to answering phones or searching knowledge in a knowledge base. So our browser UI interface had to be very simple, very fast, and very easy to train people on. So where are we today? We've got over 3,000 new staff accounts in the system, and we've got over 1,300 individual staff logged in remotely over the past 7 days. With that, let me give you a quick demonstration of the system. Here we are in Oracle Service Cloud's browser UI. I'm a typical agent. I'm sitting at home, and my cell phone may ring or my home phone could ring, depending on how I have my Verizon Virtual Call Center set up. So my phone could ring, I answer the phone, and when I do, I click the plus sign and I create a new incident. And I get my text, "Thank you for calling the New York State Coronavirus Hotline. My name is Alex. How can I help you?" This text obviously changes depending on who is signed into the system. The first thing you'll notice here is that there are only 2 buttons on the workspace. This is intentional and by design. Everything that you see on screen is geared towards simplicity and speed of access, as well as speed of getting somebody trained on the system. Some of the lessons we learned were that once we sent everybody home, we didn't have a way to communicate with them. Several state agencies don't have webmail open on the outside, so anybody that was getting an email couldn't actually get to it. To address that, we created the breaking news article that you see on the bottom. What this means is, using their standard Oracle Service Cloud knowledge, knowledge administrators update a particular answer, and when they do, every agent who signs in and creates an incident sees that brand new answer, and they see that content. So it's a very fast way for us to get breaking information out to the agents in the field. Next, we also give that agent the ability to read the instructions so that they can understand and remember how to use the system. Because again, not everybody that we're rolling this out to is a call center agent. They don't think in terms of call center. They don't think in terms of incidents or cases. Okay, so with that, I've taken my phone call, and let's say I've got somebody that's called up and they're asking me about a package. So I can quickly click on my Search the Knowledge Base button, and when I do that, you'll see automatically Oracle Service Cloud has pre-populated my knowledge response with the most up-to-date articles for the coronavirus hotline. I will just simply come up here and type in package. So the caller wants to know how long coronavirus can live on the packages. They want to know if it's safe to open their package or if they need to clean the package. Okay, so I'll quickly review my knowledge article, and I can read the following text off to that caller and make sure that they're comfortable and I've answered all their questions. Okay, when I'm done with that, I simply close my article and I'm back here. I could answer another question, or if I'm all set, I can simply click the End Call button. When I click that, in Service Cloud, we close our incident, we set our disposition to agent solved, we set the status to resolved, and we close this. Why is that really important? Well, because we're not asking agents to take a first name or a last name or an email address or any other information. There's frankly just not enough time. The call volume is high enough that we just don't have the time to ask for additional information. Also remembering, these aren't call center agents. A lot of the folks answering phones don't think that way. So we automatically set the caller and the status and the subject underneath the covers so that later we'll be able to use our analytics in Oracle Service Cloud to find out exactly what's happening in our call center. Another thing we learned was, how is the agent going to be able to contact us? How is the agent going to be able to provide feedback to us? So for example, if a caller calls and asks a question that the agent can't find in the knowledge base, well, we have the Answer Not Found button. And so what this is typically Service Cloud would use this as proposing an incident for the knowledge base. In other words, if I'm an agent and I keep getting the same question over and over and over, I might say, hey, knowledge base administrators, you should take this incident and create a new article out of it. We're not using it exactly that way. So what we're trained our agents to do is use this I Answer Not Found button, and they can come in here and type their question and say, for example, caller called and asked about coronavirus living on a food product. Well, if I can't find that in the knowledge base, I can go ahead and type in what question that caller had, and when I click OK, we send that over to our knowledge admins, who are then putting those articles together, and they get that over to the Department of Health. Department of Health will take a look at that and then create new content that we will then rapidly bring right back into Service Cloud. So in that way, agents are able to help us expand the knowledge base by taking questions that we don't already have in the knowledge base and propose them and get answers to them right away. So I'm now done with my phone call. I've answered my caller's questions. I'm simply going to click End Call, and I'm ready to start again. So again, everything you've seen up to this point was geared towards speed, simplicity, and ease of use. Now let's shift over to the administration side and see a little bit more about our statistics behind the scenes. One of the great things about Oracle Service Cloud is the built-in analytics and the fact that we can capture so much data without having to ask the agents really to do anything. So you'll see here, over the last 7 days, really once we got going on March 23rd, we went from 6,100 incidents opened per day to a peak of around 9,800. So almost 10,000 open incidents on the 26th. That number has finally started to taper down a little bit. I can see that we had a weekend here, so I'm anticipating the next day is going to come up a little bit, but in general, we're starting to see the effect of people are starting to understand this. People are starting to see, information on TV. They're starting to see it on their local news. Just the volume is dropping. So that has been, that's a very welcome pause. You'll notice to the right, I have some metrics on exactly how many incidents have been created over the last 14 days. And over to the left, one of the things that we really wanted to know was, as we create these staff accounts, how many people are actually logging in and how many are actually taking phone calls. So out of the roughly 3,500 agents we have in the system, 1,485 have signed in the last 7 days. And of those 1,485, they have contributed to 7,424 browser UI logins. So 1,485 actual people have signed in a total of 7,400 times. So it starts to give us very good metrics, and we're very proud of the fact that we're able to get so many agents home with really no preparation whatsoever, but get them home, get them active in the system, and get them answering questions. One of the questions we're going to get asked a lot is, well, because since you're not asking the caller what they're calling about, and you're not taking any of that information in, how do you know what they're asking? What questions are they asking? Well, again, because we have such a rich analytics engine, I might not be writing down what the caller has asked about, but I sure know what answers the agents have accessed. So I can see here that the week of March 15th, agents answered or accessed 3,978 articles. The week of the 22nd, that number ballooned to 25,000. And here we are at the beginning of the week of March 29th, and we've already seen up to upwards of 4,500 answers accessed. So by drilling into these answers, I can see what questions have been asked. So as you can see, by the number of answers that have been accessed by our agents, we were able to spin up an interface that allowed us to get our users home, but also get them involved, answering questions, answering phone calls in a very short amount of time. None of this would have been possible had we not had the cloud-based services like Oracle Service Cloud and Verizon's Virtual Call Center. Had we been relying on an on-premise software application or phone switch, this frankly isn't possible. So we're very proud of and very happy with the results of how fast we were able to enable the state of New York to get their workers at home. Thanks for attending today.